Hi guys, I'm Philip, this is Moscow Connect. Welcome back to the channel. I'm a British guy standing here in Moscow, Russia. And why am I standing here in Moscow, Russia, you may ask? When I've called the title, the topic of this video, Don't Move to Russia. Now look, I've come out as someone who's pro-Russia. I absolutely love the place. I love living here. I love pretty much everything about it. But I thought perhaps I should actually do a bit of a video now on the reasons why perhaps, just maybe, you shouldn't move here to Russia. And I'm going to tell you why. Stay with us till the end of the video for the full list. Now guys, the first reason on my list, it's now in July, it's actually the 1st of July, and it's extremely cold. I mean, it's July, it's Russia, it should be 25, 30 degrees now. I should have my shorts on and my t-shirt on. Instead, it seems that the English weather has come with us, guys. I don't know what it is these days. It must be because so many of you guys are starting to move here now, bringing the bad weather with you from the likes of the UK. But yeah, like I say, I thought I was getting away from all of that cold weather at least for half of the year, but unfortunately it looks like my summer may not start until next month, but let's wait and see. Hopefully as July moves on a little bit, it will start getting just slightly warmer. I don't want it to be too warm. I used to live in Dubai and it was absolutely horrendous. It's just sweltering hot. But a little bit warmer and a little less rainy would be nice. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, you might actually start to enjoy the bureaucracy. Yeah, I've said it. Russia is great in a lot of ways, but eventually you'll find that the amount of bureaucracy that goes on, especially dealing with all of your paperwork, your TRP applications, your visas, your renewals, your medical checks, it just goes on and on and on, and you'll actually start to enjoy it. And I'm not even joking, it will just become so commonplace to go through some of these situations, go through some of these routines in order to achieve what you want to achieve here, especially when dealing with various government departments, bits of paperwork, like I said, that you need to fill out, especially when you first get here. Until you establish, until everything's set up, I mean, you're going to be going for your initial visa, you're going to be going for your TRP, you're going to be going for your visa extension. You know, sometimes you might renew the TRP, you might upgrade that to a permanent residency, whether via the simplified procedure through having a child or not. It may be through doing a language exam, and then that's another situation you'll find yourself in, to ultimately getting a citizenship and a passport, etc. if you decide to do so. There's always going to be that constant amount of paperwork and bureaucracy, unfortunately, you're going to need to deal with. So that's number two on my list. Number three on my list, absolutely no one speaks English, and Google Translate won't even help you. Now look, Google Translate almost definitely no, Yandex Translate maybe, but it's gonna be a struggle. Guys, do yourself a favor and start to learn the language. Put the time in, put the effort in, just try and learn the language. Now look, we've got a team of language experts, Russian teachers that can help you, can help guide you, etc., help teach you the language as quickly as possible, but you're gonna struggle without. I mean, just from the basic things, dealing with government departments, dealing with basic forms, going to the grocery store, none of the signs will be in English, you're not gonna know what's what, you'll be trying to order a takeaway. You know, it's a lot of things here there isn't going to be the English option for. I mean, even things like doing your banking, logging onto the banking app, knowing who to send money to, how much, you know, where to go for the settings. You know, someone will call you about something and you just have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. Look, it's a bit harsh to say no one speaks English, especially the younger generation now here in Russia. A lot of them learn English, a lot of them are starting to speak English, especially if you're in the main city centres of places like Moscow, St. Petersburg, Nizhny Novgorod. You know, there's a few key places around the country where people do speak more English, but you try going a couple of hours outside of these main cities, these main hotspots, you'll struggle because no one will speak English. You know, try going to a market stall to buy the most delicious tomatoes you can ever taste in your life. They're not going to know what you want. So do us all a favour, learn the language. I've just started myself and I have to say it's a beautiful language to learn. You just have to put in the time and effort and give it 6 months, give it a year. You'll be living here, you'll be putting in all of the practice, so there'll be no problems at all. But if you don't want to try and you don't want to fit in and you don't want to blend into society and start learning the language and making life easier for yourself, then that is number 3 on my list of why not to move here to Russia. Number 4 on the list, the police do actually care about your documentation and they will stop you, and it isn't just for customer service. Now look, Russia isn't that scary place you hear about on the news, but of course they want to protect their borders, of course they want to protect their country, and of course they want to know who's inside the country. Unlike the United Kingdom and most places in Europe and, you know, the US, Australia, elsewhere as well, we haven't got a clue as to who we are letting into our country, who we're allowing to cross the borders. There's so many undocumented migrants in these places. And you know why? You know what the key fundamental thing is that people aren't doing, that the authorities are not doing in these countries? They're not doing enough checks. They're not checking documents. They're not stopping people randomly in the street and asking them to show their documents. That will happen from time to time here. You know, it won't happen often. It's not like it's an everyday thing. But make sure you have your documentation with you, have your passport with you, and have everything in order. Everything will be fine. But you've got to accept and you've got to understand that that could happen from time to time. And if you don't like that, and you don't like that sense of security and that sense that you're living somewhere that actually cares about national security and cares about making you safe, then don't move here. Completely up to you. But that's number 4 on my list of reasons why not to move here to Russia. Number 5, you'll start calling minus 30 degrees fresh. The amount of times when I've been in the apartment and I've literally said, look, I need to go outside for some fresh air when it's minus 30 degrees outside, it's just absolutely crazy. You wouldn't do that anywhere else in the world. But over here, you kind of get used to the cold weather. I mean, the winters here really are truly, truly cold. The summers are pretty cold. I mean, they're not normally, and you get some really nice days, but at the moment, especially for July, it's tough. It's a really cold place, and you get used to it after a while, and you know you become, you know, wanting it, and actually, you know, you actually want to go out and start, you know, feeling like you're getting that fresh air, no matter how cold it is outside. Number 6, there's no Tesco, no Pret, no Greggs, all of those things that you're used to from back in the UK. Sorry guys, you haven't got any of that there. What you have got is alternative brands for things, and you know, a lot of international brands have arguably better quality brands than they have got in the likes of the UK and the US, but you know, you be the judge of that yourselves. I mean, I certainly have been since I've been over here, and I highly recommend that you do the same. Anyway, that's number 6. Number 7, you'll start to think the Western media is kind of weird. What do I mean by that? Now look, your whole life you've been brainwashed by the CNN, the BBC. They've constantly told you that Russia is bad, you shouldn't come to Russia. But that's just because they give you one side of the story, and they give you one narrative that you've got used to your whole entire lives. Now, look, I'm not saying that Russia is perfect. I'm not saying the UK or the US is perfect in any way, shape or form. But you've lived your whole lives based on one narrative, and you're completely and utterly brainwashed. So after living here for some time, of course, you're then going to think that, you know, it is a bit weird. But obviously, you know, if you continue to think that's a good thing, then don't move here. But if you're pretty open-minded to other things, then sure, give it a try. The next one on the list that we've got here is that people will treat you nice because you're a foreigner, and you have some kind of colonial guilt in you because it simply isn't what you expected. Now, you'll find this a lot, you know, you'll come here reading or hearing or listening to what you guys have heard on the news back in the UK or the US or Australia or wherever it is in the world that you are. And because you've been brainwashed by the Western media, you have certain expectations. Now, part of that is that everyone when you meet here is going to be evil, and they're going to be cold and, you know, calculated, and they're all going to have an agenda, and everything's going to be really, really bad. Now, guys, that's not true at all. You know, you guys need to come here to understand it, but you're going to be more welcome here than you've probably been pretty much anywhere else in the world. So, you know, if you're scared of that, don't come to Russia. If you're open-minded and you want to check it out, then sure, be my guest. Guys, the last one that we've got on the list here is that you will actually feel freer here than you do in the West or pretty much anywhere else in the world. And it's kind of scary for you in a lot of ways because, again, you're brainwashed by that Western media that's going to tell you that, oh, you can't say this or you can't say that, you need to be careful about some of the things that you do say, or you're going to get in trouble, you're going to get arrested. I've heard all the stories. It's not anywhere near what the truth is and what life is actually like here in Russia. So again, look, the Western countries, the UK, the United States, they're not free. They're not free at all. In fact, what I would say is, look, freedom of speech has completely and utterly gone in the Western world, the Western society. And when you can go to prison for saying the wrong thing on Twitter for 2.5, 3 years, as has happened recently in the United Kingdom, how can you call that free, guys? So if you don't want to be free, I suppose, then don't come to Russia. But if you do and you feel trapped where you are in maybe the UK or the US or most of the European Union, then sure, we'll take you in and hold your hand through the process, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find peace at last and happiness at last here in Russia. Anyway, guys, before I let you go, I need you to do one little favour for me. We're on 7.5k now. We're almost on 10,000 subscribers, so if you really help me out, I'd be much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button, share this video, turn on bell notifications, like I said earlier, so you don't miss a thing and you're first informed when we do release a new video out there. You'll be the first to hear about it. As always, comments in the comment section below. We always enjoy hearing from all of our subscribers, and we will ensure that we get back to every single one of you that's listening to us. If you need any help or guidance at all in terms of actually what the process is, moving to Russia or any of those things, then please do get in touch with us and we'll be happy as always to help you. But until then guys, do svidaniya, and we'll see you all in another video very soon. Cheers.